Are you looking for new traffic sources? Then you might be familiar with TikTok ads. But in this video, we will compare TikTok ads with native advertising. When I'm talking about native advertising, I'm talking about traffic sources like Taboola, Outbrain, and Yahoo Gemini. So let's start with the comparison. Hi everyone, my name is Marcel Sattler. I'm the founder of PurpleBlack, a native advertising only agency. When you're new to this channel and when you don't know what I'm doing, I run a native advertising only agency. So I can't tell you a lot of things about TikTok, but I can tell you a lot of things about native, and no worries, I don't will tell you in this video that native advertising is the best of it and you have to run native ads. No, because there are some reasons when native advertising doesn't make sense and when, for example, TikTok make more sense. So let's start. When you're using TikTok, you might notice that the audience is still younger than on other platforms, but I'm pretty sure that will change very soon. If you can remember, it was the same on Facebook or on Instagram. It always starts with very young teenagers and then people are joining and then their parents are joining, just in general. And then it's not cool anymore, this platform, and young people, teenagers are switching to other platforms. And currently TikTok is a mixture. So there are of course many teenagers, but also older people in their 20s, but of course also a little bit older people in their 30s or 40s, but the majority of people are still somewhere under 30. So you have a very young and trendy audience on TikTok, and TikTok is a platform which is working very naturally, which it feels completely naturally. Also the ads on TikTok are looking very naturally. So it means it's super simple to start with TikTok ads. You just need your iPhone, your smartphone, and you can just create from scratch a TikTok ad and play a little bit around, try it out. And because TikTok is relatively new and not a lot of advertisers are using TikTok ads, you can reach with just a few $100 a lot of people out there. That's really insane. How much people you can reach out, and you don't need a very big idea, a very professional ad. You just can create an ad with your smartphone in a few minutes and it might working. Unfortunately, it's not possible yet to scale TikTok up to the moon because due by the fact that you reach the whole TikTok audience with a few K per day in a country, you cannot scale it to 50, 60 K per day normally in smaller countries like, I don't know, Germany, for example. Therefore, you have a natural limitation in scaling. So let's switch to native ads. And when I'm talking about native ads, I'm talking about traffic sources like Taboola, Outbrain, and Yahoo Gemini. And native ads in general are working completely different than social ads like TikTok. As mentioned before, TikTok ads are very lightweighted. You can just start with your smartphone, create an ad and play a little bit around, invest a few $100 and then you see, hey, it's working or it's not working. Native is a completely different beast here because on native it's not easy to just start with. And by the way, I would not recommend you to start with native by your own, not just because I have an agency for native advertising, no, but I'm pretty sure you will lose money when you start completely from scratch because of the lack of experience. So native ads is way more complicated and you reach a completely different audience because on native you reach an audience which is something between 30, 35 up to 60, 70 years. So that's the big difference. You reach more an elderly audience than, for example, on TikTok. So in a nutshell, if you're selling something for teenagers, TikTok might make more sense. If you sell something for people which are, I don't know, which are own a house, a flat, then native ads could make more sense for you because people are older, which you reach out for native ads, and they normally, just in general, black-white thinking, have more money. And due by the fact that they have more money, they can invest more, for example, when you're selling something in e-commerce or when you're offering a service which is a little bit more expensive. So on TikTok, you normally see ads for products which are maximum $100 or below. And on native, it's possible to sell something with ease for $100, $200, or also $300 or $400 without retargeting. That's the good news here. So let's compare it a little bit more in detail. By the way, before I write something on my screen, I just want to excuse advanced because my handwriting is horrible, but I hope you can read it. So on TikTok, you have a very young audience, something between 18 and let's say 30. And on native, you have a more older audience, so from 30 to 70 and beyond. The good news is with TikTok, it's very easy to start. You just need a smartphone and that's it. You don't need a big concept or something like that. You just need a smartphone, an idea, and create it from scratch very, very fast. You can create a TikTok ad, which is working very well in just 15 minutes with your smartphone. Unfortunately, that's not possible with native advertising. You need more money and time to start with native ads, because you have to prepare advertorials, different audiences, tracking, and so on and so forth. So it's much more complicated if you compare directly with TikTok. On TikTok, you can start very easy with just a few $100. So for example, you can start with 1K. And on native, you need way more money. By the way, if you want to know how much money you need in detail for native ads, check out my other video about how much native ads cost. Just in general, you need at least 10K per month to start with native ads, probably that you gather enough data until you can scale it up. And scaling is my next point, because unfortunately, it's not possible to scale unlimited with TikTok ads. And here's the good news. With native ads, you can scale very, very fast. So there are two big advantages when you want to start with native ads. First of all, it's scaling, because native ads are scaling very smooth. So you can spend 40, 60K per day profitably with almost the same CPA when you're spending, or like when you're spending 2K. So it doesn't matter if you spend 2K or 20K per day, it's almost the same CPA. And that's the point where native ads is very interesting for a lot of companies out there. And currently, I think you're not able to spend 40, 50K, 60K per day profitable in TikTok ads in just one country, like for example, Germany, profitable, because with 60K per day, I think you will reach every TikTok user 100 times per day. But of course, that's just the current situation. In summer 2022, it might change, but currently here, definitely native ads is the better way to go when you want scale. A negative point about TikTok is the ad fatigue. Because you need to change your videos very often. You need a rhythm to change your videos, to change the approaches, because people already saw it. So therefore you have a very high ad fatigue, and you don't have a very big ad fatigue on native. So on the long run, native ads is more stable, because when you have ad fatigue, you have to create new ads. And every new campaign, every new ad is a risk, because you don't know how it's working. And you don't have this risk if you don't need to change the ads or the campaigns due to the fact of ad fatigue. Therefore, native ads are much more stable. That's just a not complete, quick comprehension between TikTok ads and native ads. But there is something else which I want to share with you. So I think there is no right traffic source or wrong traffic source. It always depends where you are and where you want to go. If you have a few $100 and you want to start by your own, and you have a very young audience, which is, let's say, 30 years old, then it might make sense to start with TikTok ads. It's very low key. You can start with just a few $100 by your own. You don't need a very complicated production. You just can create a UGC content campaign with your own smartphone. But if you're on a point where you say, hey, I want to scale, I spend already a good amount of money on Facebook, on TikTok, on Google, and I want to scale now profitably. I want to reach more people which might not using TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, so I don't reach them yet, then native advertising makes sense. So especially for scaling, native advertising is the way to go, because no one really detects native ads as an advertisement. And that's the way why it's so profitable, or why you can scale it up to the moon, because it feels completely naturally for people and they don't feel like to get advertised. By the way, if you want to learn more about native ads, subscribe now to my channel, because I upload 2 times a week a video with valuable content about native ads. So before I come to my conclusion, I want to share a few stories with you from our agency daily business. What we see very, very often is that brands are coming to us and they already normally run TikTok ads. And they say, yes, TikTok ads are working, they're fine. But unfortunately, the ad fatigue is a pain in the ass and we are not able to scale. So also when we see a campaign is working probably and we want to scale it up, we are not able to do this. And that's the point where they want to scale it up with native ads. Of course, they're still using TikTok, but with just a few $100 or a few K per day, so the maximum amount what's possible to run those ads profitably. And they're using native ads normally to scale it up, especially for times or quarters like Q4. So when Q4 is coming, many brands are preparing now native ads to gather all the data that we can scale profitably in Q4 with very high amounts. So that's normally, unfortunately yet, not possible with TikTok, but that's possible with native ads. So normally an e-com shop or also smaller and bigger brands are using not just one traffic source, but they're using many traffic sources. And the good news here is that native advertising is working very well with other traffic sources. Here's just another thing what's a little bit different on native ads. Due to the fact that we have another funnel on native, we normally don't use retargeting. So what do I mean by that? We have an ad at the bottom of a news page and an editorial. An editorial is just an editorial or a landing page which looks like an editorial, but it's copywriting. And at the end of the editorial, we're using urgency, call to action, that people are taking action to, for example, purchase something. And due to the fact that we're giving those people a lot of information about the problem, about the product, and about what it does and what not, we don't need very big retargeting campaigns because people are knowing very fast, yes, it's a very interesting product for me or not. And they're taking action now and not after, I don't know, 7 or 8 contact points. Of course, there are also other things why we don't need as much retargeting as you're familiar with on social ads, but maybe we'll create another video about that topic. So let's come to conclusion. In my opinion, there is no right or wrong traffic source. There are just different kinds of traffic source. I think TikTok is a very good way to start super low key. So you can start with your smartphone now, today, to create a new ad. So it doesn't have to be a very professional ad. User-generated content ads are working very well on TikTok. But if you want to scale up, if you're already doing a good amount of money, and when you want to scale up now, then native advertising is the way you go, especially when your audience is something between 30 and 70 years old and you want to scale up now and want to scale, of course, profitably, because native advertising is not just the channel to go when you want to scale, but also when you want to scale profitably and get a lower CPA. I hope you liked that video. If so, I would extremely appreciate it to give me a thumb up and of course subscribe to my channel to get updated when I upload a new video here on YouTube about native ads. Have a good one. See you next time.